Hello, my friends. So if you are finding that you're on a bit of a content creation train and you're getting deeply exhausted about being on this constant train and you're not having the impact or the results that you're really wanting, then you're going to want to watch this video because I am going to be breaking down what potentially is getting in your way and how to do things in a different way that's going to start to get you the results that you require in your content creation. All right, so before we do, my name is Claire Bradshaw. I'm a holistic life and business coach, and I work with wellness and holistic practitioners to help them both create and grow their businesses online and offline, using my signature system, the Wellness Business Builder, that's made up of 3 parts: soulful self, sustainable strategy, and meaningful marketing. Okay, so let's get into it. So something that I speak to a lot of clients about and I see happening online a lot are wellness practitioners, naturopaths, health coaches, just constantly posting more reels, more information, lots of information around different illnesses and diseases and breaking it down, getting super deeply scientific, going very much into an educational space. Now, this stuff is amazing and, such high quality work. However, if you're finding that it's not converting and leading to clients, there's a good reason why that is the case. And that reason is that you're not actually speaking to your clients, you're speaking at your clients. And you've gone into kind of more a teaching mode rather than connection. And if you think about it from a social media perspective, it's about connection and it's about meeting people where they're at. Now, I'm sure that as a wellness practitioner, entrepreneur, you got into this business because you love helping support your clients to have transformations, help them to improve their lives, their wellness, their health. You didn't go into it to be constantly on a content reel, did you? I'm pretty sure you didn't. I know that I didn't do that. Whilst it can be fun, it can also be quite exhausting. And particularly if you're finding that you're not getting the results that you really want from this. Okay, so let's just take a step back for a moment and just look at the broader kind of environment that we're living in. So we are living in the information age. We're living in a time when there is so much information everywhere and we're just constantly being bombarded. So really, we don't need more information. What we do need are things that are going to help us to stop, to take notice, something that's going to break us out of this kind of mundane scrollingness and actually speak directly to us, whether that's to raise awareness, whether that's speaking directly to a problem or issue that's been going around in our heads. And then you as the practitioner are then talking about the solution and the how-tos and things like that. That's where you're actually starting to add value to your audience rather than just continuing and adding to the noise. Okay, and if you think about it, we can really find anything that we want by looking online. And we can find answers to nearly everything that we could ever want online. And as we know, as practitioners, as coaches, as naturopaths, that whilst you can get the information online, you can find it in books, there's a big difference between information gathering, the knowledge, versus actually putting something into action and seeing the transformation, seeing the change. And that's where our work really comes into this incredible space of actually creating change rather than adding to the noise. Okay, so you're probably thinking, yeah, that's nice, Claire, but still I've got this content creation issue going on, because how do I translate all of that goodness into these little squares on Instagram or into Facebook or wherever it is that you have chosen to create your content? And that is a really, really good question. All right, so what we really need today is people who are starting to speak to their clients specifically. And so I have a process here, so grab your pen and paper and to take you through, that's going to really help support you in terms of creating that content that lands with your clients, gets you off this content creation wheel of just trying all of the things, putting all of the stuff that you've learned, everything that's in your brain into the little squares, and actually starts to create content that starts to create a conversion or really achieves what we're wanting to achieve, which is to raise awareness, to attract more of our ideal clients. That's really the purpose of social media. And then, of course, we can take them on a journey with us into coming deeper into our world and then potentially working with us as a client. All right, okay, so let's follow these tips. So the first one is, number one, is make sure that every piece of your content starts with having your ideal client in mind. So you'll want to, if you haven't done this work before, then you'll want to be asking yourself, okay, so the people that I really love to serve, or the people that I would really, or I really enjoy serving, what are they most struggling with? What are their day-to-day challenges and problems that they're experiencing that they would love to resolve? What are their biggest challenges that they would love some support with, and they're willing and able to pay for that? What are the outcomes that they desire? What does that life without those problems and those challenges, what does that look like to them? What does that give them? And what is the transformation that you can support your clients to achieve? Get really clear on this stuff, because essentially all of your content really wants to come from this place. Because if you go and start one day, you're talking about, you know, one type of physical challenge or issue, and then the next day you're talking about another and another and another and another, you kind of lose people. So you want to, rather than going broad with your content, you want to go deeper. You want to go deeper and start to cut into that information and get cleverer in terms of actually how you're speaking to your ideal clients and helping them to move from where they are right now to the next step that comes closer to actually getting a full sustainable resolution to that problem, which of course is through working with you. We know that by consuming something on a social media square is not going to resolve the issue for them. Okay, number two, get clear on which platform you love. Which is the platform that you just love spending time on, right? Hopefully there's one. If not, if you don't love it, then at least one that you like better than the others, right? And start to change that relationship you have with it and see it as this incredible opportunity to speak to your clients. And it's free, right? Which is awesome. And also consider which is the platform that has the largest group of your ideal audience, okay? So that's really important, because we don't want to be spending time on a platform where there's none of our ideal audience. So an example of that may be we're spending all of our time on Facebook and Instagram, but our client, our ideal client, is actually a corporate woman or corporate man. Would it be better to spend more time on a LinkedIn than Facebook and Instagram? Just a question for you. Okay. And my recommendation is to start with just one platform, at least to begin with. Get yourself into a consistent routine and a familiarity with that one platform, build up an audience. And only once that's kind of running and you're feeling confident and you've built up some momentum there, then look to maybe add one more. Okay. And then number three, start speaking directly to your target audience in your content. So the ways in which you can do this is by adding value with things like tips and steps and how-tos that are addressing specific problems. So, you know, helping people to move away from that problem and challenge, helping them to move closer towards what the solution is. And what this really does is starts to show that you have knowledge and you're able to provide value to them. And if they receive value from you, then you're positioning yourself as that authority, and then they're more likely to really, listen further and pay attention. Okay, number 2 within this is creating entertaining reels and videos that show off more of your personality. So getting clear in terms of, who you are and what you believe in and what's important to you, and start to explore that and show that in your content. What's aligned with this one is really starting to create thought leadership posts that talk to your beliefs in the industry that you're in, right? All of us have specific beliefs, particularly if we're in a wellness space, right? What feels safe to speak to, what feels most comfortable to you. You're not wanting to do something that really, creates something that feels deeply uncomfortable. Start slow and then build up from there. And that's how I've found, definitely with approaching social media, is that I started very small because I had a big fear of visibility. And so I knew that the only way I was going to start to overcome that fear was by taking small steps. And then over time, I could do a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. Other people may not have that fear, and they can kind of go bigger. So really feel into what's true to you. Okay, share your story as it relates to your audience. So what's the story? What's the journey that you've been on with your health that's informing the work that you do? That creates more of a connection with your audience. And share how your audience can work with you and how you are the right person to help them achieve the outcome that they desire. So putting your offerings out there, telling people how they can take the next step, and giving people the opportunity to download your free content and things like that in exchange for an email address. And then lastly, is showcasing your client results. So showing off the testimonials and case studies that you have from the clients that you've worked with. Again, it's helping to create that connection and showing people online that they can have these same types of results and that you are a trustworthy person to work with. And then number 4, our last one, is really getting consistent with your content and support from your community. So commit to your content schedule and show up for it weekly. I recommend to post a minimum of 3 times per week, along with stories, to share more behind the scenes. So using the stories more as your kind of day-to-day content, showing a bit more behind the scenes of how you work and this type of thing. And then your posts having about 3 per week, at least to start with. Get used to that consistency, build up the trust within yourself of, yeah, I can do this, I can show up. And then of course you can add more when you start to feel more and more confident and comfortable. Okay, so just to summarize, more information does not mean better. Posting more on social media does not mean better, does not mean that you're going to result in having more of your ideal clients reaching out to you. What is going to make the difference is actually following these steps and being smart with your content, being intentional with your content, and ensuring that your content is helping your ideal clients to see things that potentially they hadn't seen before, to create a connection, help them to see that you understand their pain, you understand what's going on for them, and that you are the right person to help them go from the pain and the struggles and the challenges towards where they really, truly want to go. I trust and hope that this has helped support you, and I look forward to chatting soon. Bye.